Well, anyway, I wanted to ask you that. Wow, you
Mhm.
you bought new microphone?
This one, I guess you should have seen it in the previous episode. No, this one is old.
Yes. I wanted to ask, but I forgot it. What are you doing? You switch it time to time.
I just decided to check it. Yeah, at last time the audio
Mm.
wasn't like the best quality. Something happened, while I was editing it, so I decided to leave unedited and upload it like this. So realized that this is not for podcast. This is for singing and for some other
Wow, that's cool.
things. So yeah, and I love how it looks like.
Very nice.
Also, I'm seeing, also something different from your side. Yeah, if you're a woman, you would ask me, do you notice something? And I would say, yes, you have changed your haircut.
Yes, you're right. You're a great man.
So, yeah, it suits you very well. But do you like it yourself?
So.
So.
Yeah, if I could, I want to have a long hair like you and like have it kind of wave palma on it. Yeah, that's I want to do the best, but I couldn't do because I'm working as a business kind of. Yes.
I see. I am suspecting JTC.
Wow, you remember that.
Baka.
Bakero.
So, yeah. So, what's happening in your life right now? Tell me.
Last time when we went last week.
Last week.
Nothing happened. Oh no, I went back to my hometown last weekend, and I enjoyed kind of chill out with the guy who we went same company. I mean, my first company. Yeah, like that. And we ate sheep meat. With BBQ style.
I hope not raw.
But one of them is kind of low.
Okay.
Yeah. Raw. Love that. Okay, so how about you? How's your day?
So I can't wait to drink water, And for people who don't know, I'm Muslim, and this week is the start of the holy months of Ramadan. And yeah, it brings its challenges, but also its many, many blessings.
So could you please tell me about Ramadan a little bit?
Oh, yeah, with great joy. And maybe not a little bit. But, generally when people think about Ramadan, what does come to your mind first? To you?
Fasting.
And you would be correct, yes. So we abstain from food, and we also abstain from water. And basically you cannot drink nor eat anything from the dusk till dawn.
Okay.
So
sunrise
once the sun is rising above the horizon, it's the time for us to stop eating. And the only time when we can eat or drink anything is to wait until the sun sets completely.
Wow. So how long is between from sunset to sunrise to sunset in this season?
Well, I'm very bad at math. So let's say it starts from 5 a.m.
5 a.m.
Like from 5 a.m. And then until 6:12, 6:15, something like this.
Okay.
So at 6:15 we can eat, but because the day is getting longer, the fast is getting longer as well.
Okay.
And but the cool thing about Ramadan is that it goes not with solar calendar, our usual calendar with January, February.
Yep.
It is with lunar calendar. And an interesting thing about lunar calendar is that the time is switching and the dates are switching. So because of that, Ramadan, like for example, this year Ramadan started on March 11, and next year it will start 10 days back.
Okay.
It will start 1st March.
March 1st. Oh, okay.
March 1st or the end of February. So it goes back 10 days each year. So, and this means for us right now that the next year, Ramadan, if we live until that, will be shorter. I mean, the fast will be shorter.
Okay.
So, yeah. And imagine what happens during summer, like, middle of July.
Wow. I can't imagine. Wow.
Like it starts, you start your fast at like 3 a.m. in the
3
morning.
a.m. Wow.
And then you finish it at, let's say, 9 or 10 p.m. So, and only then you can break your fast. And it's summer, it's extremely hot. Imagine like 30
I'm
plus
so sorry to
degrees
ask
Celsius.
you, but is that possible in middle of August?
It is, but it's hard. Yeah, it's a big challenge. And I remember it happened when I was studying at school. I was kind of kid, and my parents they fasted, and they told me to start fasting as well with them. But for a kid it's extremely hard. And I remember I was pretending I'm fasting in front of parents. And then when they don't see I just quickly like take one cookie and then another and then another one. So at the end of the day there are no cookies.
Wow.
So yeah. And so this is the general idea what most people see and what most people have associations with when they think about Ramadan. But it is much, much, much deeper than that. So month of Ramadan is the most important month in the entire year for us Muslims. And one of the main reasons why it is because the month of Ramadan signifies the month when the Quran, our holy book, was revealed. So it was revealed during the month of Ramadan. So, yeah. And, people think about like, we don't eat, we don't drink, but we also abstain from any kind of bad behavior. We, we cannot say bad words, we cannot, really shout or be angry. So, we cannot slander anybody, talking behind their backs. So, and it's really, a month of refresh, complete refresh. And it's a month of getting yourself together, fixing some of the bad character traits you have inside, really thinking about it deeply. Yeah, it's also a month of Quran. It is recommended to read it much more than you usually read it. Yeah, a lot of blessings, and also, all the good deeds that you do during the month of Ramadan, they are multiplied to infinity. If you do even one small good deed, it will be, like a mountain for you. Imagine. So that's why it is really encouraged and recommended highly to do as many good deeds as possible during this month. So because the good deeds are multiplied. Yeah, and it's a beautiful month. A lot of good things are happening. You can feel this atmosphere in the air. Something something is really different when the month of Ramadan comes. Yeah, and so that's what I can say about Ramadan in general. Yeah, but the most the biggest thing, at least for me, and for maybe many other Muslims, one of the most important things that we get is like why we don't eat, why we don't do any kind of bad things, and we are really conscious about it to not do them because our fast will break. It is the realization that God is always watching you. So any action you do, He is always observant, and you cannot really hide behind the doors. Like whether you do a good deed or a bad deed, He will be always watching. Yeah, and this month really brings it into your face, because like outside of this month, you may think about it, you have consciousness of presence of God, but during month of Ramadan, it is really you can feel it much stronger, I would say. Yeah, so, and that's why for us it's the best month in the entire year, and we are really hoping that we live until the next Ramadan and the next, because like the amount of good deeds that you can collect, it's immeasurable, and I can say many things about Ramadan. If you have any specific questions, really.
First, I really appreciate this conversation, because once we search about Ramadan, we can understand what is Ramadan and how do they proceed it. But that's it. We hardly know the inside of Ramadan, or how they think about Ramadan. Like, how Muslims think about Ramadan. So, this conversation from you is amazing. Great value for me and for listeners as well. This is my first hearing. And another one is, I heard that end of Ramadan, and the end of Ramadan, there is kind of such a celebration with many food and kind of party. I'm sorry if this is not proper word, but so can you tell me about that real bit?
Yeah, so we call it eat or eat. You can like it's an Arabic word.
Excuse me, what is that difference from fata?
Fata? I have never heard about it.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
So eat or eat for English speakers may be easier to remember. Basically means a celebration. So once the Ramadan is finished, it's a really big moment, and there's so many being how to say this, being a Muslim is so cool in so many different levels, because you receive so many how to say this, even let's say bonuses, imagine.
Okay.
Fasting itself already brings you so many good deeds, and as Prophet Muhammad, our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, he said like one day of fasting brings you away from the hellfire in the distance of 70 years. Imagine. So the hellfire exists, and on the judgment day, when everybody will be judged according to their deeds, 1 day of fasting will distance you from the hellfire from 70 years.
Okay. Wow.
So, and imagine like how many days we fast and how many years, how many Ramadans we acquire throughout our lives. Yeah. And then, like, it is not finished. So when the end of Ramadan comes, we celebrate. Yeah. Now we finally can allow ourselves to eat, to drink whenever we want. Yeah. But after the Ramadan, there is another month in which if you fast for extra 10 days, just extra 10 days,
okay,
it will be written for you that as you have fasted 1 year, 1 whole year, you just fast for like 10 extra days, and it will be written for you that you fasted for 1 whole year. Imagine 365 days in a year you fasted. And so how many rewards you get.
Excuse me. Written in Quran, Holy Book.
So
not like that.
Yeah, not like this, because so where do we get our information from? So like as Muslims, where do we get all those legislations and rules? So there are 2 sources.
Okay.
First is Quran, of course, and the second is Sunnah. So yeah, Sunnah basically means the way of the life of the Prophet, peace be upon him. So how he lived his life, what he did during his lifetime, what he said, we follow it. So yeah, and the notion about when you fast extra 10 days after Ramadan, it will be written for you as 1 year of fasting. It comes from the Sunnah. So yeah, and they have an equal, let's say, authenticity for us. So something like this.
Okay. Wow, very interesting to know. So yeah, I have a lot of questions, but
yeah, please
maybe
ask me.
I have to shrink one of them. But so other than that, in the world, there are many Muslims out there.
Yeah.
So in Kazakhstan, maybe it's little, northern place. So yeah, sorry, I have to change my question. So have you exchanged about have you exchanged about your customs or way of Ramadan with other Muslim countries?
This is the coolest part. One of the cool parts, not the coolest. One of the cool parts about Ramadan is that it's the same everywhere, and it's collective. Like that you're not doing it alone, but how many? Like 2 billion people are doing it at the same time with you. Imagine this. You're feeling such sense of unity with each Muslim that fasts, and it makes everything so much more enjoyable and so much easier, because you know that you're not doing it alone. Everybody else is doing it as well.
Wow, amazing.
So
feeling.
And yeah, the rules are not changing. Like it doesn't depend on customs of any country. So how Ramadan is going in one country, it goes the same way in another country. So yeah.
Okay. Good. So like you mentioned that you experienced doing Ramadan while you are at school. So how old do people start Ramadan in general?
it is not obligatory for non-adults. So for teenagers, if you're a teenager, you don't have to fast during Ramadan.
Okay.
Once you reach the age of puberty, once you become an adult person, now it becomes obligatory to you, and you must do that. But people can do that. Teenagers can do that as well. They can fast, and it will be written as a reward for them too. Maybe even bigger than for adults. So, yeah, for me, to be honest, I really started fasting properly maybe, let's say, 3 years ago. 2-3 years ago.
Okay.
Something like this. Before that, it was kind of sloppy here and there. I didn't really, because, again, as I said, fasting during Ramadan does not only mean abstaining from food and drink. I mean water, not alcohol drink. But also, abstaining from any kind of bad behavior. And, I can say like 3-4 years ago, I was not doing bad things in my life. So, that wasn't like a proper Ramadan for me. So that's why, with like, let's say, with kind of proper understanding of Ramadan, I came to it consciously maybe 2 years ago, something like this.
Okay.
So, yeah. And many, how to say this? I don't want to say miracles, Many miracles happen during this month. I feel it as though.
Okay.
But many strange things happen during Ramadan.
Interesting.
And every time it's different, For example, 2 years ago when I fasted, it was a real test for my patience. There were so many annoying bad things happening in my life, especially during Ramadan, that I felt like like exploding. And I exploded a couple of times, but then there were so many hardships that came into my life during Ramadan, and that brought me so much closer to God than anything else. In that moment, I felt like all those hardships that happened to me were for a good reason. Yeah. This month of Ramadan, for example, it is different. Everything is kind of easy, on me for now at least.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is going very well, smooth like butter. I'm feeling like I make a wish and it will come true, something like this. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, there, like it is such a deep ocean that can be discussed for a long time. Yeah, but if you have any other question, I'm ready to answer it.
Okay, so this is simple question. So do you get any changing physically? I mean, for example, do you lose your weight? Or like that?
Yeah. Yeah. Some people, and including myself, sometimes it happens that we gain weight during Ramadan. Imagine this.
Okay.
But this is not happening from a good side, let's say. We should lose weight generally, yeah, during fasting. But a lot of people actually gain weight, or they stay the same, and it is all because people get so hungry during the day because they fast, yeah, that they go crazy when the time of fasting finishes. That they eat everything they can. They put a very big table. You remember dastarkhan, with everything included, meat, cakes, whatever. Yeah, and I would say this is not a proper way of doing it during Ramadan. You should not, just put inside yourself as much food as possible. It is really a month of restraining yourself and moderation. And it should be kept as though throughout, even when you are allowed to eat, you have to like control it, because you can really go crazy, and we do go crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as a question, I imagine that while Ramadan, maybe kind of week off. I mean, at the start of Ramadan, it's very tough to catch up the cycle. In daytime, you don't drink or eat at all. But maybe half of them or 2/4 of them, you can get used to it. Is there any threshold like that or timing of the month?
You're very close. That just what you said is actually very close to the truth. First days, are the hardest, especially for people who fast like their first year. This is almost a nightmare. Yeah, but then, after day 4, day 5, your body slowly starts getting used to it. And then, imagine, like, during Ramadan, this is one of the other things many other good things that happen to you. Water becomes the tastiest thing on the planet. Like, water becomes tasty.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, I can't wait. I have this bottle with me right now, like waiting to drink when the time comes. Yeah, and this thing will be the best thing for me in the entire day. It makes me and all the other Muslims so happy. And also, when you get used to this process, you drink water and you are full already. So imagine,
yeah, my personal feeling is actually I drink water a lot. So maybe I can live in Ramadan.
I mean, we can, if it's, let me propose it to you right now.
Okay.
Until the next episode when we meet, probably will be next week. Try to fast at least for 2, 3, 4 days if it's possible. So, and then, when we meet next time, you will tell about your experience.
Yeah, great try, but maybe I can't do it on water sink. But for food, I can do it easily, because actually in weekday, I don't need breakfast, but sometimes I don't need lunch neither. I only eat dinner like that. So for food, it's very easy for me, but water, I can lose that water.
Yeah.
And also, coffee. I need a coffee in the morning.
So it, probably almost everybody who is not familiar with Ramadan are fine with the food part. But when they hear about water part, like you can drink water, like, yeah. But it will be a great challenge. And for viewers, it will be really interesting to know what you felt and your impressions after just couple of days. So you should try it. I highly recommend it.
Okay, let me think. So maybe is one of my final question. How about maybe it's real sorry to ask, but how much important of Ramadan compared to all about other activities for Muslims?
So basically, one of the most important things. So where do I start? Probably I have to explain basics. Okay. Ramadan is really important. It's extremely important. So there are 5 pillars in Islam.
5 pillars.
Yeah. So, and I wouldn't tell you like all 5 right now, but
okay.
So the prayer, salah or namaz, and fasting is one. Those are one of the pillars of Islam. One of the 5. So namaz, salah or praying, and fasting. So these are obligatory on every Muslim who is, adult. We all must do that. We have to pray. We must pray 5 times a day. This is one of the biggest pillars that we have. We cannot leave praying. We do it every single day. And fasting during months of Ramadan, it is obligatory as well. So yeah, it is really significant. This is the best month out of all year. Many important things happen during this month.
Okay.
So,
wow, thanks for letting me know many things. It's very important.
This
conversation.
This episode. I'm sorry for only me speaking this episode.
Not at all.
So but what kind of
When will the Ramadan end this time? On our calendar, on the calendar we are using.
Yeah, so it's April 9th of April.
April 9. Okay.
So, yeah, it's 30 days. So just one whole month.
I see.
And what kind of associations did you have with Ramadan before you listened to me? Besides not drinking, not eating anything.
In Japan, we have a kind of religion aspect in our daily lives. An example, sometimes we do, or how should I say, we do see our inside ourselves. And how should I say that? Let me check the word.
Okay.
What's that?
Something really deep.
Yep. Kind of meditation.
Meditation.
Yeah, there's a specific Japanese way of meditation, and that is a way of to face our internal, and what we did, the past, and what we have to do, the future, and we have to kind of communicating with or God or kind of very huge things like that. And I feel that kind of dividing from our kind of outer world and concentrating to our inner side is kind of a similar concept with not only Muslim but your daily doing. Between we do sometime in Japan too. Yeah, even we don't have a specific religion, we say, but yeah, we have kind of idea.
Do you
sometime?
So do you meditate?
I don't do meditate regularly, but when I go to temple or shrine, sometimes I do. I sit on the very plain floor, kind of very proper style, and meditating. Yep, like that.
And this this is a, how to say this, a bridge to the next topic that we're going to discuss maybe later. Are people in Japan in general religious?
We say no. But maybe you have a idea about that, because even we say we are not religious, but our thinking is based on specific religion from Japan, from ancient era of Japan.
Is it Buddhism?
No, Buddhism. Actually, Buddhism was new one. But before then, there was a Shinto. Shinto was our basic idea, not only religious, but how we Japanese doing or how we Japanese thinking, mostly based on Shinto.
Okay. Yeah, and Shinto is a lot of things to unravel. Yeah. So, anyway, was really happy to see you today.
Yep.
Now.
Thanks for your time. Great to talk to you again.
Yeah, you too. And to everybody else, thank you very much for listening. See you next time.
See you next time.